Hi guys, I got asked these are the three most asked questions on your homework last night, the segments in circle practice. The first one is number 7. It's asking for the length of OE. So I'm just going to write in what it is that I know. I know the length of AD is 4. The length of AC comes out to be 12. BC is 6, which means AB has to also be 6 if my entire length here equals 12. And they're asking me to find the length of OE. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call all of this, I'm going to call it X, my diameter DE. The secant part that is just inside. So I know that when I'm done with my answer, whenever I find X, I'm going to have to divide it by 2 because it's just asking for OE, which is just the radius, not the diameter. Okay, so I can't forget that. All right, so when I'm solving this, I have 2 secants, which means I'm going to do my secant exterior, which is going to be 6, times my secant whole, and that's going to be 12. So 6 times 12, and that's going to be equal to this secant exterior, which is 4, times my secant whole, which is going to be the outside plus the inside, and that's going to give me 4 plus x. So distributing 6 times 12 is going to give me 72, and that is equal to 16 plus 4x. Subtracting 16 from both sides, I get 56 is equal to 4x, which means x is equal to 14. All right, so my entire length here comes out to be 14, but again, it's only asking me for OE, just this part right here. So if my diameter is 14, that means that OE has to be 7. Number 9, it's asking for the length of BD. This is the one that I got the most questions on. It's asking for the length of BD, but before I can do that, I have to figure out the value of X. I'm just going to look at AE and CD, just that part first. And when I do that, the types of segments that they're 2 chords. Remember, the chord's going to be the product of the chords equals the product of the chords. So I'm going to take my AE and I'm going to multiply, which is going to be my X times my X plus 2. Taking those 2 pieces, and I'm going to set that equal to my other chord, which is 2 times 12. Right, so from F to E, that's X, and then A to F, that's X plus 2. So I'm taking these 2 pieces, multiplying them together, and setting it equal to my 2 and my 12. So when I distribute here, I'm going to get X squared plus 2X, and that is equal to 24. I'm going to subtract 24 to both sides, so I can get it equal to 0. X squared plus 2X minus 24 is equal to 0. And then I want to know what multiplies to negative 24. That also adds to 2. And that's going to give me 6 and negative 4. So those I'm going to drop straight into my binomials. I'm going to have x plus 6 and x minus 4 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to negative 6 or x is equal to a positive 4. Well, my value of x, I can't plug my negative 6 into here because it would give me a negative length, so I can't use this guy, which means x has to equal 4. Now, that's not what my question was. I just needed that to figure out my value of x here, so I can use that to help me find my length of BD. I'm going to take x equals 4, which means this guy is going to be 4, and then 4 plus 2, this length is going to give me 6. So really what I'm looking at is I'm looking at A to B, this guy here, which is a secant, and BD, which is a tangent. I'm going to call that guy Y. So I have a secant and tangent, which means I'm going to take my y squared is equal to my secant exterior, which is 8, times my secant whole. And the whole thing, I'm going to add all of this together. So I'm going to add 8 plus 4 plus 6. My entire segment here, I am adding all of these pieces, 8 plus 4 plus 6, which is going to give me 18. Again, the length of AB, the entire secant here. So I get y squared is equal to 144, which means y is equal to 12. And number 10. So you had to draw your own picture here. They're saying that we have in our circle that we have the diameter AB extended through B to an external point P. So here is my B, and here is my A. It also tells us that P goes to C, that's tangent to my circle. So it comes out here, and there's my C. If the radius of the circle is 15 and BP is 2, I want to find the value of PC. So that's what I'm looking for, PC there. Well, they're saying that the radius is 15, which means from the center out, this guy is 15, which means my entire diameter is going to be 30. And now I have a secant and a tangent. Secant here, AP, and my tangent, PC. So I'm going to do my tangent squared. So x squared is equal to my secant exterior, which is 2, times my secant whole. So it's going to be the outside plus the inside. So 30 plus 2 is going to give me 32. I get x squared is equal to 64, which means x is equal to 8.